Okay, microphone in front of me, microphone on. Okay, late start, out walking dogs, and then needed coffee. So, a bit discombobulated, but we're fine. Um, okay, oh, that's less words. Okay, so today, so last week, let's see where we got to. I had to restart my PC yesterday, so things are starting to feel a bit. Whoa, that seems poorly scaled. That seems very poorly scaled, right? Joy. Let's do this. Let's make that my main display. Okay, let's everything again. Let's go on 1 days. Right. Whatever. Okay. Not what I wanted. That's what I want. So I want to open it on the main window, get the scaling right. I think that's going to work fine. That looks like a problem. There we go. That was healthier. So last week, what I got working was I got he says, as everything's going slow. So the machine had to be shut down yesterday because of a thunderstorm. I didn't have a UPS attached to most of it, so losing my dev machine at this point would be a major challenge. So things are going to go slow to start with, I think. Failed to build project, okay. Unable to load. How have you got a package reference to my machine? But you shouldn't have. We'll open the code. We'll disable that NuGet package source. Tools. Nugget. NuGet. Tell me it tries to resolve it there. It tries to resolve the sources there. Settings. NuGet. I think it's just taking its sweet time. Let's go in this way then. NuGet. Sources. What? I don't want to start Docker and start my local NuGet server. For that, it shouldn't have to be started. Oh, there we go. That's healthy, doesn't it? It's because it's my roaming. It's not the local. Okay. Let's go from there. That's fine. Build. Yeah, no, I don't want to use it. There we go. Okay, so we had the ship, the aircraft flying. We're shooting the enemies. Not registering score again. Awesome. Why? Game manager. Game mode scene process. That's nothing to do with it. The enemy manager, if anything else. On collision occurred. If scored. Let's get that. Okay, so we do get that. Okay. So we are an enemy. Remove it from our list. Unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Okay. Okay. Scorekeeper. Oh, here we go. Let's try that one. Okay. Score value. Ah, that would do that, wouldn't it? So we've got some code to check on. That's a risk of leaving that out there. We open up the tank. Score value. 25. It's Jones. Good morning. Good afternoon. Sorry. How are you doing? 25. There we go. Too bad. Good, 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 good. Hit fire to continue. We go to the next level. We get new enemies. Their scores. Should I get through 9 hours of prerequisite training before doing a 2-day EKS workshop on Wednesday, Thursday? That sounds tough. EKS, Amazon, Kubernetes stuff. Thought you had time off. Yeah, so escape exits, that's fine. This is why I removed this because this is um when you get hit. Oh yeah, this doesn't do that anymore. Yep, I'm off as well. Told my missus I was off today, not to take advantage. Immediately gave me 3 jobs to do. uh, yeah, AWS, EKS. Yep, I'm supposed to be off apart from the 2 days I'm in the training. Okay, yeah. So, to be honest, that's why I have stealth days off every now and then. Going Craftsman. Good morning. How you doing? How's things? Well, enjoy your lunch. Hope it's something good. Uh, got some time to watch Twitch before my training starts here. Oh, another one doing training. Nice. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not feeling the game dev as much today. The challenges of this, I'm kind of bug finding, but I'm trying to keep on the schedule. I want to progress, but I've got all these little niggly things to chase around. And every time I open the project, I seem to have something else to fix. But because I made a lot of progress on the other stuff yesterday, so I'm kind of focused on that. But I also realize the importance of a schedule. So what I'm so we're gonna already do positive sessions. So at least I commented enough to tell me what was going wrong. So this is just me needing to learn about one unit ending timer. So ending timer Q3, that's why. It's not exit tree though. I want to do private void. That's not a good name to give that because there's a finalized concept. So again, I am on the alternative stream setup, the single PC stream setup. It was already 75 degrees in here this morning. I do not need to be turning off the AC unit and trying to run two PCs, two high-powered PCs as well. I may look at getting... Oh, no. I'll be right back.
fun. Ah, pretty good sometimes on my Twitch. Hey, hey. Morning, Delta. Patrick, good morning. Yeah, dogs are in trouble. So for some reason, since my wife and daughter have gone on summer break, the dogs have decided that everything's fair game to chew. So if they find anything that can be chewed, it gets chewed. Um, Books, they'll pull it off, tables, so nothing's safe. So everything gets chewed. And only since the summer break started. Of this magnitude, they're doing it every single day. So yeah. Um, that graphic, by the way, is something I was trying to throw together because again, I'm single. This is not the normal setup. This is one PC. So I got I did an OpenAI image creation. Said actually that's actually the text for a guy standing at a desk or a guy at a standing desk. I tried both versions of that. So yeah, if they choose something up again, I'm gonna have to just go and sit with them, which is yeah, it was an AI image. Um, I just was trying to put something together that had some style as a start and BRB screen. I found the music stuff again, which I forgot to turn on in that last one. That might have been so super loud. I apologize because I put it as BRB and then went. Uh, Started going to the gym in the morning just the last 3 days. Nice. That's a good way to start your day. Um, that is a good way to start your day. Let's do that. Let's do shut down there. Let's remove that. Let's do shut down there. 25 minutes easy bike ride so far. I plan to get to an hour. Good goals. Yeah, don't. That's like with everything. If you start your goal too far out, um, yeah. I apologize for the BRB. I'll tell you what, let me just bring out the BRB. I'm going to turn that volume down on that music because you can't do it unless you're in that mode, even with studio mode. There you go. That should be working now. Okay, that should be quieter. My apologies. Hi, Shy. How are you feeling today? I hope a bit better than yesterday. Do you awaken? Yeah, I do apologize for that. Okay, so let's try that. See, I'm a little bit less focused on this today, which is a little bit harder. And my phone was being dumb and I was getting any audio from anything. Ah, that ain't good. From that. It's AI. I just put it into OpenAI image. And oh, feel absolutely horrible today. I'm gonna absolutely suffer at the test in a few hours. I think at this point they might actually send me away when they see me coming like this. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, if it's something you can't avoid, um, then obviously you've got a problem. But if it's for a job thing, it might do you better to just phone them and say, "I am not very well. Can we reschedule this? I don't want to bring sickness to you." It shows a more responsible attitude. Um, I get that you
you might want to be there, but yeah, really, the jobs for need to go to the test. Yeah, art right now is the most controversial of all the AI. Yes, yeah. Um, the challenge is if you do AI image stuff, you don't know you obviously don't know who to credit, right? Hi, Cozy, Easy, how you doing? So why did that on visibility change the enemy? Do I not have a notifier hooked up? Uh, tank. Yeah, I do. Oh, shutdown is happening. Not bad, not bad. So it's Monday. Yeah, I've got a restream bot hooked up. So you don't have to. So restream, you can pay for the ability to stream to multiple channels, or you can just use the restream bot for chat. So if you do stream to YouTube and Twitch like I do, you can have the bot in there. Send the events domain stuff to a product guy who's fairly high up in the. He forwarded it to the product guy for the company. Meeting invite on the material. Oh, he's hoping that's some. Is it? Did he respond with any interest, or is he just trying to? I'm not trying to be negative, but did he just try and pass the buck? Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's going higher up to people who can influence more. That's nice. What am I working on right now? So on Mondays and Tuesdays on stream, I'm kind of trying to learn my way around game dev stuff. Um, I've been an app developer or an application developer for a long time. Um, and game dev is a whole different way of approaching things from what I've experienced so far. So I'm just trying to build something simple, kind of grow it as I feel the challenge. Um, and hopefully come out with, at the end of this, a little functional game that demonstrates all the pieces that I need to learn to go into something more adventurous. So right now, what I'm trying to struggle with is responsibly removing resources. Um, so simple shoot 'em up, right? Little shoot 'em up. Okay. So notifiers null. Is that because shutdown fired? Um, like share. Oh, I'm new in this field. I made some racing game in Flappy Bird. Now my problem is I don't about the function already exists in Unity, so I'm really confused with that function. It's guide me. I'm doing Godot. Unfortunately, my experience with Unity and Godot are similar. Um, I'm not in the place to guide many people right this second. This is me learning rather than me guiding. Nice part about my position is that if I have an idea or suggestion, I can just throw a paper ball at the CEO and chat with her about it. Not literally, but it's for a small company. My company is like 1,000 people, so sending it to the product person for the company is a maximum ambition. Yeah, the company I work for, I think the component I work for is about 500 people, part of a much larger organization. Give me some suggestion. I, I mean, I don't know what to suggest. I mean, um, I'm not quite sure I understand. You've made some racing game in Flappy Bird, so you've made more than I have already. So you probably know more about this than I do. Um, I unless you have a specific question that I can help you look at, then I'm not sure. I'm new to trying game dev, right? So I'm an experienced developer. Um, Clearly not an experienced mouse user because I can open apps randomly. I'm an experienced developer of 25 years, but I've never done game dev before, so I'm trying to learn my way through some of this stuff. So I'm going to stumble and do it on a on a public forum. I'm de facto lead of the two-man software dev. Um, at least I can still eat some little snacks without feeling too sick. Drinking is a lot harder though, but I've tried. Hydration is very key to your recovery. So yeah, stumbling really is the best way. I do a lot of web dev and I do stream some of that web dev stuff. It's just I've taken a few days a week to do some game dev. Games are kind of a passion, a side passion. Um, Wednesday through Thursday on stream, I work on a large application for planning that I'm building. It uses more technologies I'm familiar with and practices and techniques I'm familiar with. But game dev is a passion. Our games are a passion. Um, Not game dev. Game dev is something that I'm trying to get my head around because it would be like uh, my goal to make an actual game. But game dev is very different than app dev from what I've found so far. So what's happening is I think this. So it's clearly working because on Reddit we have notifier. And then when we shut down, let's see if we hit that shutdown first. I've never felt like such a noob than when I started game dev. Oh, I've felt like this a lot of time. I often feel like this, but it's okay. So the visibility changed. Yeah. I'm also learned C++ in past year. Now I'm shifting on game dev. Yeah, I mean it's for me. This is basically I'll put it as it's a kind of a palette refresh because I do application development stuff at work. I do application stuff on the stream, and this is just something new. And I think seeing someone who knows how to code struggle through some of the challenges is also probably kind of helpful for some people. And the ability to see things that you understand that I don't, that seem simple to you now, um, can actually be quite confidence boosting as well. So I don't mind that aspect. So what's happened here is I've hit the shutdown. So how have I hit the shutdown? Okay, so that's, but then I get that. But how can the problem is the notifier is the thing that fires this. So how can the notifier be null? Actually, I think I don't need that. I think I can do in process. I can say if there's something about the in viewport. I can test this without knowing about the notifier, I think. Absolutely. I've been writing code most of my life, and when I started game dev, I hit several points where I just froze and thought, well, now what do I do? So what kind of game am I making now? So I'm trying to make a little shoot 'em up game, a little bullet hell shooter. So basically, I want to experiment with moving a camera or moving objects, bringing things onto the screen, removing things off the screen, firing projectiles, collisions, scene changes, things that will transition me through a game. Please stay slow. My first language is not English, and there's you in trouble. I apologize. Um, Unfortunately, I don't know anything but English, and believe it or not, this is me talking a lot slower than normal. But I will try and. If you don't catch something, it's okay to ask. It's the hierarchical structure for me. Yes. Hey Bex, good morning. How you doing? The idea that a script can be considered an object just messes me up. The relationship between the things, like, okay, well, if I want this thing to have behavior, I'm going to attach a script to it, which is actually the same as it. Now, for me, again, who knows what about what is crazy. Your camera is missing. It is because it's not plugged in. Actually, let's see if we can fix that really, really briefly. I'm just going to go BIB, although this is all messed up. No, I can't. I can't do the camera because it takes too much software setup. It's an Elgato capture through the yeah, that won't work. I can't do that. We don't need to see my face that bad. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is how to use computer. Eh, eh. Yeah, because of the heat, I can only have one PC on, so I've chosen the dev PC. Obviously. Oh, funny story, I forgot if I told you that. Your motherboard was being super weird. Okay. Godot check if entity is in port. Out. Oh, okay. So visibility notifier seems to be the way. And yes, I know I'll just base that off of one. Um, okay, so it looks like it's actually quite an accepted solution to do what I'm doing there. Um, this is DuckDuckGo. I may be changing that soon. There's some things it just doesn't because it doesn't allow pop-ups. It blocks so many different ads and pop-ups. Um, Morning, Emirates, by the way. I went to boot up my computer and nothing happened. Not even the diagnostic light on the motherboard came on. So some of the header plugs got power. Well, some of the header plugs got power. So it's not the PSU being bad. Okay. So the problem is this notifier. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I do screen entered, screen exited there. That might be why. Um, I think it's better. Which guy are you talking? Not sure. Well, let's see if that fixes the problem now. We should never crash because we unsubscribed from the event. So the problem there was I was subscribed to the notifier start um in view and out of view, right? And I only what I do is I use the notifier to tell me whether I'm going to start firing. So if the enemy goes off screen, it should um not fire. Um the reason I don't just remove the enemy from the screen is because I don't know if the enemy started on the screen or stopped off the screen. So I haven't done that yet. Um But what I did here was I was subscribing to the on screen and off screen and hooking them both up to on visibility changed, and then unsubscribing from on visibility changed, which was never subscribed. So now I'm unsubscribing from that event. This doesn't fire because those other events were still subscribed. They would still fire even if the notifier had not been. I mean, even if that had happened, they'd still fire because the subscriptions are still there. I switched back to Firefox, was an Edge user for 3 years, but they did too much blow. I liked Edge. I liked earning the points with Edge because I would do the donations to charity with the points. So I'd make Microsoft give me money to charity. So I didn't have an issue with using Edge. But yeah, then it got more and more bloaty, and yeah. I took all the parts out and reseated them, reset the CMOS, everything and nothing, got it to boot until I didn't touch it for 2 days, then miraculous revival. So I'm taking advantage of being gone on a work trip most of the week to have it taken apart and trying to get Gigabyte to replace it under warranty. So it just, ah, I mean, Gigabyte, I have had miscellaneous issues with Gigabyte, so I can see that. That's irritating. Two days of not using it, then it, oh, wow, that's some weird behavior. Okay, so let's run this again, and then we're going to get the game over screen this time. So we need to shoot. On unit hit. Actually, didn't I just broke something there, didn't I? Watch. They're not firing now. So that is because I'm hitting it again after I've hit it the first time, and it's currently in the firing timer. So if firing timer dot I've never seen anything like it, and my Google photo appears to not be good enough to wade through all the posts asking what diagnostic lights mean to get to anyone who may have had a similar problem. What issue did I have with the Gigabyte motherboard? I have a 7700K machine upstairs that had a Gigabyte motherboard in it. First one had a 1080 Ti, and the graphics card slot just fell out. It just couldn't cope with the weight of a reference 1080 Ti, and fell out. Then the next generation they put in the shielded sockets. So that's the one that was in there then. I would have it randomly shut down. Oh no. That was the one that randomly lost internet. The network card had just shut down. The onboard NIC had just stopped working. It wasn't the software. That was that one, I think. I have a lot of PCs. This is probably the longest I've gone in the last 10 years without doing any sort of upgrades or improvements to PCs. Thanks, Apex. So the problem with this one is this ending timer is firing, so I'm hitting the enemy again. It might be. Gigabyte is not that quick from my experience. If yeah, I had a actually no, that RMA stuff is pretty good because I had a 20, is it 20 card? Is either a RTX 2060 or a 1650. And it arrived and it had graphical glitches straight out. All the benchmarks just glitched and they replaced it within a week. Start. Is if not if paused. Let's see if that hits. So that's I'm hit. I don't know why that's now a problem. Probably because I was destroying the thing previously. Oh, interesting. Oh, because ending. I'm. Ending timer timeout shutdown. I have an ordering problem going on here, right? I have. Notifying game over is fine, right? That's just shut it down. So the enemy manager will invoke on game over when game over fires. So the enemy manager will trigger the notification to the enemies, right? So it collects the subscriptions for that. It also knows when collisions have occurred, so it can remove the enemy from its list and pardon me, and stop tracking it and whatnot. But I have an ordering problem, and so what's happening is if I hit it the first time, I get on unit hit, collision occurred, I fire the event, I then stop the firing timer for this thing because it's the firing timer is used so that I get the bullets at the right pace, right? I'm not manually doing that on the process. The only thing I do on the process is fetch where I'm going to fire, so it's getting the current position of the player. Um, so if I hit it a second time, it's still valid because the um, have I hit this or have I hit? Let's see if I hit that method at all. I need to hit this twice. The fact that they're not even firing is really annoying me as well because that means something else I broke in doing that rearrangement. Okay, so they're gone to shutdown. Can I assist disposed object? Hold on, timer's still not. Right, well, okay, yeah, so it's been disposed. Um that's just to make sure it's cleaned up, right? So there's no reference. Ending timer, key free. Oh, shut down. On unit hit. If prime timer is null or ending timer is null, return. I don't like doing that sort of code. It just feels wrong. Not to mention that, I've broken them firing at some point as well. So that's weird. Ah, this just feels like I'm pushing and pulling and not making progress. Okay. So that fixes one problem, but it doesn't fix this because I think I'm shutting down the wrong point. Ending timer. So ending timer should start. Um, Collision occurred, invoke. Oh, hold on. What's doing the? Explosion. Oh, so I set that starts. Godot Q3. My understanding is it's kind of like schedule it for Node to clean for Godot to clean it up. So it's kind of garbage collection. Oh, not what I wanted. Why is it not straight away in the documents? Okay, let's have a look. Let's make sure I understand what Q3 does. Why isn't like some of that stuff is stuff that it won't always make sense to me right now because if I'm still learning my way through, bumbling my way through, not necessarily learning, um, I'm not going to quite grasp some of those things. However, that being said, why is optimization performance assets 2D editor? Why is Q3 not a top level? Accuse this node to be deleted at the end of the current frame. When deleted, all of its children are deleted as well, and all references to the node and its children become invalid. Unlike with object free, the node is not deleted instantly, it can still be accessed before deletion. It is also safe to call Q3 multiple times. Use object is Q for deletion to check if the node will be deleted at the end of the frame. The node will only be freed after all other deferred calls are finished. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a private bool. Is dead. We're gonna set that. We're gonna do if not is dead. If is dead, return. Is dead equals true. So firing timer will stop, ending timer will start at this point. Ending timer is set to do shutdown on timeout. Which will unsubscribe any events. It will queue the freeing of those things, although actually, being that these are children of this element, that should be good enough, right? And that will keep everything intact. And ending timer is a single shot timer. That's timer, and so that's ending timer. Uh, Timer. Yeah. So that's a single process comment item, one shot, wait time 1 second. So the idea is that it's going to show the explosion on the screen for 1 second, because what happens is when I start the timer, doesn't matter what order I do that in there, right? I show the explosion graphic over the top. I then stop the firing timer. Um, and start the ending timer, which will last for 1 second. The ending timer is set to, after 1 second, shut down, which should unsubscribe all events and queue free. If it queues free on the enemy, from what I just read in Godot, it will queue all of its child components to free, in which case because this is the enemy, all those will get invoked as well, and they'll end at the end of that frame. So let's try that. There we go. Cleaned up. There we go. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. So now why don't they fire at me? I bet this isn't actually happening now, is it? Ab- Notifier. It's fine. Stop running that. Start running it from here. Yep, that'd be it. Interesting. So notifier dot screen entered plus equals visibility changed. I have a feeling that I had not on visibility changed originally and reverted it. There you go. Yep. So screen entered will fire if they're on the screen. It will also fire when they come onto the screen. It does not trigger on visibility changed. So there we go. Positive change. Bringing up enemies on anyone's interested in this mess of um, mess of a game. My first Godot game is there. So I'm pushing all the code. I've linked the assets that are being used in this game. Or this thing. It's funny, I was watching a short from Pirate Software yesterday, and someone said, as an aspiring game developer, and he kind of shot them down. He's like, no, 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 no. You are a game developer. You are building something. You are, even if you're learning, you're not an aspiring. You are actually a game developer. You're building software. You're building a game. Don't start with breaking yourself down before you build yourself up, right? So I thought that was quite inspirational and very true. We often kind of dismiss our abilities. We achieve things, but then we compare them to how other people do, right? So I'm not, if I try to compare myself to like Peter Molyneux or Sid Meier or whatever, I'm going to fall short, right? Um, if I expect to be there overnight, right, I'm not going to be there. And by doing that, I'm also going to stop myself from growing because I'm going to constantly doubt that I have any ability. So I thought that was pretty good. Okay, so we have enemies fired, we have things cleaning up properly, we've tidied up that piece. What do I want to do next? Well, a different type of enemy would be a good idea, right? So let's look at the tiles. There you go. So we've got some other things there. So let's go and add, create new aircraft, create new enemy. We create a scene. What's this? What is tank scene? Tank scene. That's an area 2D. So let's do create new scene. This is going to be aircraft. Change type. That just happened to be coincide with me breaking that then. Area 2D because it's going to have collision, etc. Okay. So this is going to be interesting because it's going to be an enemy, but it's not going to have. This enemy right now is kind of static, right? Because it just turns and fires, right? Whereas this enemy that I'm about to introduce is going to be something that moves on the screen. So my idea is here that what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a position. Yeah, what am I going to do here? I'm going to set. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of interesting to do. Okay, so let's add a child node. Sprite 2D. Um, actually, character. No, it is a sprite 2D. I'm not worrying about animation at this animation at this point because it's just way beyond me. I think it's. I think I'd be overwhelming myself trying to do animation of any form. So what I've got here is in tank, I have a character, and that is a texture, an atlas texture. Um, Atlas texture, Atlas. Um, how do I do that? Atlas. So I import the sprite map and then I edit the region. Okay. Load ships. Edit region. Let's do. Is that really off or is that me? That seems really weird, doesn't it? That is really weird, isn't it? Ah, doesn't look like it, does it? Tell you what, having an air conditioner on is it's drying my eyes out something rotten. So sitting here coding is getting really difficult. Okay, so I want to rotate that as well. Um, Rotation 180. I'm going to default it to coming down the screen, right? So yeah. I need a collider. Colors in shape. Actually, you can click on this. Um, is it this? You can click on this and then create collision polygon sibling. Uh, Simplification 1. Update preview. I probably don't need it that um refined. Uh, there we go. That's that. Yeah, see how that's just kind of a big block. That's fine. Um, Transform 180 scale. Then we need a cannon. Add child. No 2D. That's going to be called cannon. That's going to have a script of cannon. And that's going to have position there. And this is going to be interesting. So I need to be able to position these so that when they get close to the player coming on screen, they trigger and kind of move down the screen, right? Um, so I think we have the need for an aircraft script. Create new script. Aircraft. This might be too generalized. We'll figure that out afterwards. Export private. Problem is, it is kind of an enemy because it has a score. I what is it? Enemy? Enemy is I enemy. Node I enemy. Okay, that was. Ugh. So this aircraft won't need to track the radar. So there's no harm in leaving that there, but it's not really stunning. Node, Spectre, node, groups. Um, node, enemies, aircraft, enemies. That should allow it to be tracked where the enemy manager, so it knows when to clean it up. Um, okay. So what I'm thinking I need to do is if I put something in front of this so that it knows when that's visible, then I can trigger the start of this. And again, what I'm doing here is I'm kind of not fumbling, but bouncing from the next concept to the next without any consideration of what I'm actually trying to go for. Because I'm not creating some sort of game design here because I'm trying to learn on the fly with different things, right? Um, so each piece should challenge me a little bit differently. So this piece now, I have the need for this to trigger movement when it's just off screen, so it flies on screen. And right now, I'm going to just focus on it flying down, right? Um, I could then expand upon that and say, okay, well, now you have to follow a path or um, some sort of pattern. I mean, we've all played, or my guess is that most of the people who are watching the stream right now have, in some way, shape, or form, played a shoot 'em up and know exactly what I'm talking about in terms of the behaviors. Right. So I need something to say, okay, the screen's it's almost on screen, let's go. Um, the visibility notifier won't do that for me. How will I do this? So if we go to level 1, what I'm looking to do is say, okay, well that is up there. And if I start that, this shouldn't error. That needs to be there. Yeah. Right. So that aircraft, was that the right way then? Yeah. That's the tail, that's the yes, okay, it's the right way. Um so the way the enemy works, which I probably should rename tank, is it has a firing timer. So we need that. I actually gonna need both. Let's go all three of them. What I'll do is I'll move them in for now. Right. I'll move them in for now. And then afterwards, if I feel there is some generality, once I've kind of got this working, I'll create an abstract base class and move some behaviors around so I can kind of tidy this up and whatnot. But yeah, so let's build that. So let's add our timers. Add child node, timer, add child node, timer. So that's going to be the firing timer. That's going to be ending timer. Ending timer, 1 shot, 1 second. So this sets the frequency with which this fires, right? So 0.9 seconds. So that's, and it's not a 1 shot. So let's do point 0.7 seconds for the firing time on this one. Then we can set, this is going to be the aircraft, right? And that's going to give me the ending timer, the firing timer, and let's add in what I do. Wait, I added another sprite 2D. This is the chart node, sprite 2D. Ads are about to start. I do apologize if you get stuck behind them. They run for about a minute and a half every 30 minutes. Unfortunately, they are a necessary part of being a Twitch affiliate. Load, tile maps, tiles, edit region. Grid snap. It's that one. Okay. So now enemy, this on unit hit is going to look similar. So when it is dead again, private pool is dead. I know it's default, I'm just being explicit there. Projectile. Shutdown is going to look very familiar, isn't it? Notify game over. Let's comment them out for a second. Enemy. And then that's cannon. Export. Private cannon. Cannon. For anyone who's looked at Godot and C Sharp, what is there an actual recommended standard or any document that guides on standards for C Sharp? I mean, or is the documentation sufficient? Okay, so the only thing I'm not doing there is triggering when it's going to start. So if we just do private void override ready. Last time I looked good, I had a documented draft about style, but it may have been abandoned. Okay. That's signal design. Firing timer dot timeout plus equals ending timer dot timeout plus equals should. See if I can find it. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. So what I need to do here is, as the player is close, as the viewport is just on the edge of where I am, I need to start moving. So any suggestions for that? I'm open to. So basically, if I position this, right, if this is positioned up here, right, what happens is as the player moves up, as the viewport gets about here, I want to start this aircraft flying down the screen and shooting, right? So what I'll do is I'll put like one or two of these in place. Ultimately, what I'll do is I'll have a trigger or something that says, okay, now fly, fly in a pattern or whatever. That's the ultimate goal. So I kind of create a chain of these together, obviously, because that's a progression for this. but I don't quite know how to do that. Doing it. Oh, hold on. So basically, what I'm doing is I've got 80 slots for VIP. Um, there you go. So now you should be able to post that link. Um, by default, you don't get link privileges, and I'm just kind of using VIP to guard people I know. C sharp style guide. Okay, thank you. Using spaces, naming conventions, implicit tags. Interesting they don't mention their own exports. Yeah. Yeah, it's a C sharp coding guideline. That's a good start to see if there's any differences. But they don't mention this pattern. So, and I've seen both. I've seen both ways of doing this. Like to me, it's a private variable that's fine, but export so that it can set it in the UI. So I probably should follow that standard. Um, okay. So one option I do have here is what I can do is I could put a camera stop in. And then enable all the children of that camera stop. That would be a way. So I have a camera stop concept, and there is an ending versus not. Exporting properties. In Godot, class members can be exported. This means that their value gets saved along with the resource. Exporting is doing using export in that example. Interesting. So, oh, but, but they start off contradicting themselves with the styling. Look at the very first example. That's a field. Then scroll down to exporting can work with fields and properties, and their field is now an underscore. It looks like it is the standard though, overall. So if they make it a public property and they also want to use it in the UI, you just put so nice export groups. Okay, so I can lump things together. That's cool. Export category. String is a path to file. Oh, nice. You can give it. Okay. So you can filter it. You can do all sorts of stuff. Okay. That's really useful. Thank you very much. Oh, there's quite a lot of stuff there. I eventually called off going to the Tesla job. It's only getting worse. I'm sorry, Shy. Um, it's better to focus on your health though, because again, I think it personally, if you called and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not very well. I don't want to bring this to you," then that shows a little bit more responsibility to me. That shows more. I get that you want the job, but the more willing, the more likely to reschedule. Time to join my training. Good luck in your game and keep cool. Thank you, Coding Craftsman. Thank you for the assistance here. I really appreciate it. And enjoy your training. As we discussed, much envious. Um, Thank you. Thank you very much. So, how do I do this? So, one thought I have is use the camera stop and put a camera stop in here, which will trigger. The problem with that is this is going to get very complicated then, because if I use a camera stop, say, right, let's do add child node, uh, area 2D, and that becomes wave one, right? And this is a camera stop, right? It needs a collision because it needs um, right. And how do I do this again? Shape, um, new rectangle shape, transform. How do I do this again? Uh, my eyes are burning. Oh, there you go. So let's say we do that, right? And we move aircraft as a child of wave one. Actually, that's not a terrible idea, is it? I've already got the built-in behavior. So if we create an uh, wave trigger, right, which is a camera stop. Camera stop itself is final, so this won't be final. Um, so if this has export, they did appreciate me giving a heads up about me not coming. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. You can't help being sick and being upfront with someone rather than going. If you went there and you got people sick, that would count negatively, right? Whereas if you say, "I'm sorry, I'm unwell, I don't want to bring this here. Can we reschedule this, please?" They're more likely to be willing to do that and also respect the fact that you didn't try and just go in because you had an interview, right? You showed some. Like if it was me, I'd respect it. Okay, so if we do uh, private collision object 2D collider override, ready. I need to put something in so that's quicker to do. We get the collision shape 2D, right? I'm just gonna leave it as collision shape 2D right now. It doesn't really matter. I don't need a specific name. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the collider, listen to the collision event. If I get the collision event, right? So right now, the camera is what's doing that. So the camera is saying, oh, on area entered. If it's not a camera stop, I'm going to flip it and do the collision on the other side as well. So on camera stopped here, game manager listens to on camera stopped, I believe. Yeah. And if it's not final, it returns. So this just bails out. So this only deals with final stops right now. So that would be okay. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do collider.on camera stop, camera on area entered. Camera stop, on area entered. Stopper. Collision shape. I'm trying to get this right in my head. I'm going back to the store in a bit to get the cough syrup. Luckily, they just sell it at the store here. Yeah, there is over the counter stuff that's not heavily medicated. Yeah, yeah. I mean, hydration and warm fluids and stuff will clear it up. Zamon, thank you very much for the follow. I am one follow away from 1,000 followers. That is insane. So when I came back to streaming late last year, um, I was at 600 followers, and it'd taken me 4 years to get to that point. So it's crazy to have come this far. Interfaces. I also care about game over. Hi, Deverino. How you doing? This is just me having some fun. Or Daverino, I suppose, if I'm reading that name back properly. Dave is good. Well, welcome in. So yeah, I am trying to fumble my way through um learning a bit more about game dev. I'm gonna have some soup in a bit. That should help with hydration. Yeah, you gotta look after yourself. That's important. Okay, let's remove them. Oh no, they're just coming to because I don't have notifier right now. So, mushroom soup. Rather you than me. Not my favorite. So I don't think I'm going to get this done today. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to use this collider, and I'm going to attach this. So what I'm going to do is say, okay, well, I'm going to keep track of the wave. The wave is going to be the aircraft that are going to start, right? Um, when I hit that collider, I'm going to tell the wave activate, um, activate movement or whatever, and then they're going to start flying down. That means that what I can do is because this all moves down, the camera stays static. This all moves down. As the camera stop hits this, it's going to trigger that, which should move that on. And if I just go and get all the children of this that are enemy entities or whatever, and tell them to start, that should do what I need to do. However, oh, it's a great kind of soup, so I'm hoping I'm describing the correct one. Mushroom soup would be a thing. I'm not a fan of mushrooms, so um, it's not my kind of soup, that's for certain. But fun, fun, fun. Oh wow. Leave the mushrooms aside. I like the taste of the soup, but not the mushrooms themselves. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I'm not going to get this done today. I do have to get work started today. But yeah, I think that works. I think that if I can say um on the wave trigger script, go and get all the enemies. So I get the collider. Um Collider dot on area. No, it's not that, is it? It's I don't actually care about that. I just care about public on area entered. That's all I care about. Um, right. On area entered. Okay, so that's the camera stop. Okay, so I do care about that. Okay. Area 2D is the camera stop. So on the camera, I'm just struggling. Um, that's the camera. That's the stopper. And that's that. So this is the stopper. Um, I struggle with the association and the directionality of who knows what about what when. So that's what I'm trying to get right in my head right this second. So in this case, aircraft, no, level, wave, collision shape 2D. So it is this. Uh, so collider dot. Yeah, see, that's not the same thing. It's not the collider that I'm afterwards. I'm after. Because in the yeah, it's just this. That'll do enough because the collision will work. Um, if area is Let's do this. Debugger.debug dot break. Partial. See if that'll work. Uh-oh. Why did you stop? You're not final. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I got some more work to do there. So that was a camera stop. And his final should have been false. Right. So it's not final, which means that the camera. So if it's not camera stop, return. Otherwise, on camera stopped, pass forward is final. And then in here, that's why. That's why. But interesting. Oh, it paused. That's weird. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I can't go any longer. I've got to go and get work started. I do have a lot of work to get done today. So we're going to go raid Fullbots. Fullbots is building a game. He's building up towards a release of the game and a Comic-Con, and he's got lots of stuff on his mind. So he's actually doing real game dev. I'm doing tinkering game dev. But thank you very much for joining me. I apologize for no like shutdown screens or anything. I'm basically just gonna um I'll put the BRB screen up to finalize. But I will be back tomorrow. We're gonna continue this. We're gonna get this. The aim of tomorrow is to get these aircraft flying down the screen when I hit trigger points on the screen, and then work towards kind of creating a wave of enemies. I think that's a good set of progress to be making. Um, yeah. So have a great rest of your day, Trap. Good morning. I hope you're well. Mr. Jones, enjoy your training. And thank you very much for joining me. Take care, all. Let's do the raid. Raid has been created. And we'll raid out. So take care. Thank you. Have a great day. See you later.